simplest of regards to the fellow members of the Alpha branch of the Utopia. And now, commencing video. Hello everyone, my name is the one and only Silverreploid CLE. How are you guys doing on YouTube? That's right, the Silverreploid / Ink the Link coming at you live looking fresh in the flesh on the net, stream or non-stream, and welcome back everyone to another video. First things first, hope you guys are having a very blessed and safe Monday thus far, and let's just jump into our next SCP reaction. This is another SCP anomaly that we're looking at, SCP-914, the Clockworks. And guys, before we get started with this reaction, before we get started with today's reaction, I want to give a quick shout out to Guesty, one of the members on behalf of the community whose birthday is today. If you're watching this, Guesty, happy birthday to you. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the Clockworks. So we're looking at something that's pertaining to the anomalous clocks, if you will, considering that, well, yeah. Either way, guys, before we get started with the reaction, for those who are new to the channel, thank you all very much as always for tuning in and of course giving the channel a very excellent glimpse. Your everlasting love and support are greatly appreciated by yours truly. Please do not hesitate to like this video if you enjoyed, leave your comments down below, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notifications activated. Also, big shout out to members on behalf of the Utopian branch, aka the membership branch. If you also wish to become a member on behalf of the branch, please refer to the join button, review the perks, and when you join the perks, we're going to see you by yours truly. Make sure you also subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. As always everyone, the channel is provided in the description, comments, and the outro. And with that being said guys, let's go ahead and check out this anomaly. We shall see how it goes, and that'll be all for today's reactions. Wrong club now. Hi everyone, before continuing, it is with great pleasure to let you guys know that I made a cameo. If you'd like to receive a personal video shout out from me, whether it's your birthday, your wedding day, or if you even like to receive a congratulatory shout out for your gaming achievement, sporting achievements, social media account milestones, and so much more to help you to also start your cameo journey, please refer to my link located in the video description.
Down in the depths of Facility 23, a group of scientists stand before a massive rumbling piece of machinery. They all hold their breath as the gigantic mechanism suddenly stops. It's eerily quiet for a moment before a door slides open. The scientists crane their necks to see inside, to see what the result of their great experiment was. These were some of the greatest minds in the SCP Foundation, but nothing could prepare them for what they had created. September 9th, 2008 was an unseasonably frosty day when Dr. Charles Gears, one of the SCP Foundation's most iconic scientists, parked his Honda Civic outside of what seemed like an innocuous government cold storage warehouse. He sipped his coffee and surveyed the building.
Hope it's not that coffee from that anomalous coffee machine that I reviewed one time when one of my collaborators recommended the coffee machine anomaly to me one time. And God, every time I see the SCP characters drink coffee, it makes me think of that very anomaly episode that we saw, and oh my goodness, it's just... yeah, but say the most so guys, don't worry, my coffee is fine.
Which he, along with about 100 others in total, knew to be Site-19 Facility 23. Why was Dr. Gears, former director of all Euclid-level containment at Site-19, here today? Because official testing was about to begin on SCP-914. The Foundation had acquired the machine now known as SCP-914 some time ago, but only after its recent reclassification to 914 had it been relocated to Facility 23. It must have been important because the entirety of the facility was being repurposed for SCP-914 research. They were dealing with an immensely complicated piece of anomalous technology here, and the same question was on everybody's lips. What exactly does this thing do? Dr. Arthur Hackett, the facility director, had requested the cold, clinical assistance of Dr. Gears in providing the answer. Once he'd finished his morning coffee, Dr. Gears headed inside. The facility's security chief, Agent Alan Sedna, had been beefing up security at the building, and at least 2 mobile task force units were already on call in case anything happened. The first day of official testing is always a crapshoot. You might get a nice drink out of it, like with SCP-294, or you may get an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. You never really know. All Dr. Gears knew as he walked up the granite steps to the main entrance was that he was already feeling exhausted. When you've dealt with anomalous objects and entities for decades on end, the sense of wonder and mystery begins to wear off, only to be replaced with a kind of tedium any office worker knows all too well. Everyone knew that Dr. Gears was devoted to the job, perhaps more than anyone else, but he
he's a
approached the
scientist.
job with an emotionless effect. You wouldn't know from looking at him if he was thinking about the deadly anomalous creature in the next room, or what he was going to have for lunch that day. The doctor passed through security and was briefed in the break room by Dr. Lucius Veritas, Director of Research at Site-19. He explained that the machine seemed to work in the absence of any power source. Its mechanical structure is similar to machinery from the Industrial Revolution, but it's exceedingly complex for something constructed in that time. Foundation analyses into the structure of the 914 machine have shown it to have as many as 8 million moving parts, and that might even be an incomplete estimate. Dr. Gears wore his trademark blank face as he listened, solemnly nodded, and asked to be shown the anomaly. He was led into Containment Chamber 109B by a pair of guards. According to all current Foundation tests, the machine doesn't appear to pose any active risk of containment breach or danger to the guards, earning it the rare safe designation.
But can it actually attest that this anomaly is safe? Like, what if something gets impaired? Like, what if it goes wrong and whatnot and cause an uproar in the facility? That's a real question. But let's just see what type of capabilities this particular anomaly is capable of doing.
As a result, aside from guards stationed on site, containment procedures for 914 were minimal. Whether this designation would need to be changed after testing was something Dr. Gears would soon find out. SCP-914 was a truly impressive sight to behold, a giant clockwork mechanism taking up around 18 square feet, with an unfathomably complex combination of screw drives, belts, pulleys, springs, and gears. A less stoic researcher might see the humor in recruiting a Dr. Gears to test such a device, but comedy definitely wasn't one of Dr. Gears' specialties. He stared at the machine with a detached fascination, analyzing its vital components at a glance. Gears noted a large mainspring beneath a rudimentary selection panel. The panel is copper, with a large selection knob fixed to an arrow above a series of different options: rough, coarse, 1-to-1, fine, and very fine. There was also a large key below the selection panel, for the purposes of winding up the mainspring and initiating whatever procedure this machine was designed to enact. Next, Dr. Gears noticed two large booths connected to the machine by a pair of equally large copper tubes. The booth on the left labeled intake, and the right labeled output. Incredibly, Dr. Gears was able to immediately deduce the purpose of this machine. It was designed to enact some kind of transformative process on whatever was placed into the intake booth. But what kind of transformative process? That's exactly what Dr. Gears was here to find out. The experiment was simple. They would gather a series of samples, both inanimate objects and living tissue, and use them to explore the different permutations of the 914 machine's transformative abilities. This initial series of experiments were approved by O5 Command and the site director, and with the 47 researchers present in Facility 23 at his disposal, Dr. Gears commenced his research into SCP-914. To minimize risk, Dr. Gears decided the first test would be a simple kilogram of steel. On his orders, the steel was placed into the intake booth. With the doctor's approval, a junior researcher set the control panel setting to rough and began twisting the mainspring key, at which point the booth's doors closed and a small bell inside chimed. The machine began to rumble, its 8 million working pieces churning into life. It continued like this for around 10 minutes before falling silent,
That's
at which
almost
point
quick.
the output booth opened. What had once been a single lump of steel weighing 1 kilogram was now an uneven pile of smaller lumps, with evidence of laser cutting. Dr. Gears made note of the fact that having lasers within such a machine is both anachronistic and anomalous, and that the rough setting appears to messily cleave the object placed within the intake booth into pieces. Dr. Gears also noted that it would be unwise to test any kind of explosive material on the rough setting, unless of course they wanted to destroy the building.
I mean, why even bring it in there at all, considering that it may cause some collateral damage or colossal damage to the anomaly and of course the facility itself, right?
The research continued. Dr. Gears used another 1 kilogram lump of steel to test the 1-to-1 feature. This time the result was far more peculiar. The output booth contained the exact same weight in steel screws. This result was sparking even greater connections in Dr. Gears' impressive analytical mind. Firstly, The one-to-one feature caused the 914 machine to transform the output into something different from, but similar to, the intake. And while this would require further testing, it appeared that the 914 machine, despite being anomalous, does still follow the laws of physics. Samples passed through the machine conserve their mass and would not be transmuted on an atomic level from one element to another. Next, Dr. Gears pushed another lump of steel through the machine on the fine setting. The result this time was a kilogram of steel carpet tacks. From this, Dr. Gears was able to ascertain that the fine feature improves the samples placed within the intake booth somewhat. However, things got even stranger when Gears performed the same experiment on the very fine setting. The output booth provided several unknown gases and a lump of unknown metal with anomalous qualities. Namely, it was resistant to heat up to 50,000 degrees, impossible to bend or break with any force, and was a perfect conductor of electricity. Dr. Gears suddenly realized his task here may be more interesting than he'd initially imagined. Was that a bit of a smile on his face that one researcher spotted? Surely not. This was the famous unflappable Dr. Gears, after all. The doctor decided to take it up a notch and began to test more complex items in the 914 machine. He removed his own wristwatch and placed it into the input booth before setting the machine to course and letting her rip. Literally, in this case. When the output booth was opened, the watch had been painstakingly disassembled into its component parts with no damage to said parts. Dr. Gears noted the coarse feature as a more mild version of the rough, in the sense that it was able to take an object apart without any kind of fundamental damage. He also made note of the fact he'd need to get himself a new watch.
Yeah, no kidding. Why would he even think to even put his watch in here there, knowing good and well that he's going to need it eventually, considering, well, I guess he was just overly presumptuous as to what might transpire to anything, considering that he did other trial runs with the other objects and stuff. If you were to do a person though, however, although it might show that next, but if you were to do a person, that person may either become mutated or a different transfiguration might occur. Let's see.
Dr. Gears then asked one of the researchers to surrender their cell phone for testing. While none were excited at the prospect of their phone getting eviscerated by a clockwork behemoth, one of the researchers eventually surrendered their BlackBerry Curve to the doctor.
I mean, truth be told, that generation of cell phones, it's rudimentary. In a rudimentary manner, it's good back then, but given this new cell phone era that we're in right now, yeah, the phone that I have that's on my bed right now, I think, well, actually, hold on, the phone that I have now, I freaking love. Moto G power, by the way.
He placed it into the intake booth on the one-to-one setting, and 10 minutes later, the output booth released a brand new Apple iPhone.
Whoa!
Sadly for the researcher who donated his BlackBerry, he wasn't allowed to keep the new device.
That sucks, but I guess in a way, this anomaly, the Clockworks, SCP-914, I guess it's good for something. It depends, as long as you know how to operate it properly.
Naturally, Dr. Gears was interested in trying out the anomalous, very fine setting on a more complex object. Seeing as no other researchers were eager to hand over their personal effects, he took a Colt Python revolver from a member of security and ran that through the machine on very fine. The result was an extremely powerful energy weapon containing gamma radiation, which fired a beam capable of disintegrating anything in its path. While the weapon's power was immense, it was also too dangerous and unstable to be added to the Foundation's armory for general use. Having collected a wealth of data from more complex objects, Dr. Gears was eager to move to the next stage, live test subjects. While his fellow researchers had some reservations, the experiments pushed on, beginning with mice. A single white mouse was put into the intake booth on the one-to-one setting, and the machine was activated. The result 5 minutes later was an almost identical creature, save for the fact that it now had brown fur. Encouraged by the fact that the mouse survived the refinery process, Dr. Gears next applied for the use of 2 chimps in his SCP-914 experiments. The first chimp was run through the machine on the fine setting. The result was a chimp of human-level intelligence, who has since begun working for the Foundation under the alias Dr. Bobo, and the data from this test has been expunged from the official reports to protect Dr. Bobo's privacy. The second primate test, this time on Ruff, was not quite as positive. The chimp was dismembered, with the mutilated corpse showing evidence of cutting from high heat and crushing. Of course, everyone knew where these tests were eventually going. Dr. Gears requested 2 members of D-Class personnel for testing. The first was a 42-year-old Caucasian male weighing 108 kilograms and standing 185 centimeters tall. Dr. Gears ran him through SCP-914 on the 1-to-1 setting, resulting in a slightly taller Hispanic man with a slightly lower body weight. He immediately became severely confused and agitated, and attempted to attack the guards present, leading to his unfortunate termination by Foundation staff. It was on the final live test that tragedy truly struck. A 28-year-old Caucasian male was run through the machine on the highly anomalous Very Fine setting. The result was an utterly nightmarish creature. So horrifying that the majority of the details on its physical appearance have been expunged from the report. The creature made a sudden escape, breaching the relatively minor containment procedures intended for the inert SCP-914. This highly dangerous creature killed 8 guards, as well as 2 senior researchers upon emerging from the output booth.
Yeah, about bringing in the humans, as I gave a hypothesis for, yeah, I think that's a totally bad idea. So I think saying that this particular anomaly is safe is a colossal understatement. We already saw by the silhouette what the heck that was. That literally slaughtered the entire group of people inside that facility, and oh man.
A special response team was dispatched to take the creature down, but that proved harder than expected. SCP-914 had massively improved upon the human original, especially when it came to its killing ability. Eventually, it was captured, but the special response team suffered injuries and memory loss as a result of the creature's anomalous powers. The creature was also severely wounded, and its blood caused corrosive damage to the plumbing in Facility 23. The creature expired from its injuries several hours later, turning into a cloud of blue ash that blinded a nearby research team. Dr. Gears would later comment that the experiments were ultimately still a success, in spite of some minor hiccups. Testing on the device continues to this day in an effort to understand the full potential of the machine. Though, for obvious reasons, biological testing on the machine has since been forbidden, without direct authorization from O5 Command. After all, if an already dangerous SCP was ever subjected to the Very Fine transformation setting, we could be dealing with something beyond our greatest nightmares.
I can't imagine what Dr. Gears might transfigure himself into after entering inside that intake booth. But I guess I speak most of my mind as to what this anomaly is and how, based on the analysis of what it's capable in doing and whatnot, it can transition anything or anyone to something good or something mighty atrocious that is far from good. So that right there is my reaction to SCP-914, the Clockworks, where Dr. Gears tests out the transfiguration of certain objects and certain living things. So my computer unexpectedly shut off. I don't know what the heck that was, but we're still recording. Thank goodness we're still recording. Thank God. But either way, that was my reaction to the anomaly SCP-914, the Clockworks. Very frightening if you ask me. So if you were to have something like that, scientists, I beg you please be brutally careful, or as a matter of fact, just don't tamper with that thing at all, for your own sake and for everyone else's sake and for your technological sake and everything. And anyway guys, that right there is my reaction to the anomaly. Hope you guys enjoyed it very much, and if you did, as always everyone, please hit the like button, leave your comments down below again, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notifications activated. Make sure you subscribe to SCP Explained for more of their explanatory animations. Channel is provided once again in the description, comments in the outro, and guys, my social media, Twitch, and my song list are provided in the description as well. If you wish to request a personal video shout out to yours truly, you may do so by referring to my Cameo link located in the video description. And if you also wish to commission a song made by yours truly that you can use for your content, etc., please do not hesitate to hit me up with social media. We'll go from there for I do song commissions. This is yours truly, Silverreploid CLE, signing off for now. I love you guys, stay fresh in the flesh and off the hook, and on behalf of the Utopia, I will catch every single one of you in the next video. I want to let you guys know that we recently reopened the store and new season merch is officially available. Claim your piece in the link in the description of the video, and you will have the merch in the palm of your hands. My treat to you for your everlasting love and support. Some quantities are limited. Hey guys, Silverreploid CLE here. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. please smash on the like button, subscribe for more content if you're new, and please turn on the push notifications. And also, please make sure you check out my other videos or any video on display and show tons of love and support for not only me, but to those who are also involved. Have a great one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!